What does it mean to master the game of life? Like any game, it requires a fundamental understanding and application of the rules. But living in today's on-demand society is making this nearly impossible as our attention is increasingly being fought over and monetized by others. Will Moore's mission is to help you hit the reset button by providing a new set of game rules based on time-proven universal principles and modern science. To gamify your life by making it fun and addictive to replace your habits in the 5 core areas of your life proven to lead to true happiness. Ready, player one?
What is your number one top habit that you would like to form this year? And let me slightly edit that question. It's not about stopping a bad one. I want you guys to remember, because if you try to use willpower and just stop something cold turkey, it ain't gonna happen. It's about replacing. So when I say form a habit, what is the top one you want to form? I'm really saying either start brand new out of thin air that wasn't on your radar, or it could be a bad habit that you've had that you want to replace with something else. Because if you replace it versus just try to stop it altogether, it's gonna be a lot easier. So speaking of habits, it's your 5 core life. That's what it's about. It's about living that life. Mindset, relationships, emotional health, career and finance, and physical health. You got all of them. They're all important, not just one or two, but every single one of them. Not drinking enough water. Yeah, okay. How do I gamify nicotine addiction? Okay, let's talk. I want to get into the habit of unconditional gratitude. Okay, that's another good one. I got you both covered. Let's start with the nicotine addiction. Okay, so how do you gamify? Gamification is all about reducing the friction. It's making it fun. It's making it easy. It's making it obvious to want to do the habit, to want to, in this case, to want to replace. Again, if you were signed into the very beginning, you're not going to want to just completely quit nicotine. And it ain't going to work. It's just like any diet anybody's ever done. They don't work. That's why it's a gazillion-dollar industry, because if one of them worked a long time ago, there'd be one player in the industry and they'd be like, this is how you do it, and we wouldn't have to pay people. But we're gluttons for punishment, and we like to throw our money away. So basically with nicotine, you want to replace it with something else. So you've heard of the gum and stuff. So that's one. I don't smoke. I've never smoked, so I don't know if that's an option for you. But here's the key. You need to find out what is the option for you. What is that viable, and I call it the golden momentified habit. What is the habit that's perfect for you? Maybe it's not nicotine gum. Maybe it's almonds. Maybe it's pistachios. Maybe it's a little flibbergibbet that you play with your hands. But everybody's different. We're all wired differently. We all have different likes, dislikes, strengths, weaknesses, passions, right? So you got to use those things and kind of figure out what is that golden habit for you to stop nicotine, or to replace it. And then the idea is there's always a cue, a craving, a reward, and a response for every habit that we do, right? And the cue is that very first thing. It's what cues us to, our brain goes, all right, that's what I want to do. I just saw it, right? It's usually a physical thing. So for instance, with smoking, it might be, it's not always physical, visual. I mean, it could be inside your mind, or it could be internal and external. So an internal cue would be you start to get stressed, and you immediately go, what do we do when we get stressed? We smoke cigarettes, right? So you go to grab your cigarette. An external would be, an easy one would be, you're walking down the street and you see somebody smoking a cigarette and you go, that's what I want to do, right? And that cues you to smoke the cigarette. So you're going to want to figure out what to replace that with. So whenever you do that, whenever you get that either internal or external cue, what are you going to replace the cigarette with? Are you going to use Nicorette gum? Or are you going to use, again, whatever it is? But try different things out and don't give up, and fake it till you make it. That's the key. You got to just keep doing it until this new thing replaces the old habit, because habits don't care if they're good or bad, helping or hurting you. Either way, they're going to compound. They're going to do their thing over time. And if you just give up, it's over, right? But if you can get over that front-loaded hump, yeah, that's fun. That's my 3-year-old. We got a play date going on in the background. This is real life, people. This is the real life of a dad-trepreneur. Anyway, so hopefully that helped. Let's see, what was the other question? A habit of unconditional gratitude. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about that one. We were just talking about how to quit smoking by gamifying it, by using a cue to replace, and in this case, make it obvious of something else that you want to replace the bad habit with. So with smoking, The cue would be internally, would be if you're stressed, you're going to automatically go for a cigarette. That's just what you do. That's what you've trained your brain to do. Or if you see somebody smoking, that'd be an extra on cue. You grab a cigarette. But so instead of trying to stop and go cold turkey and go, I'm not going to do it because that never works, you want to actually try to replace it with something. So what is that golden habit for you? What does that look like based on your likes, your dislikes, your passions, your preferences? So, maybe it's gum, maybe it's a flibbergibbet, maybe it's a whatever it is for you. I just started it 3 weeks back. What did you start? Smoking? Uh-oh. Well, it's hopefully you heard the first part. On the road to quitting, and your words are very affirming. Good. Okay, Clayton, let's go, baby. I mean, seriously, this is behavioral science, guys. This is not me just being like, hey, like this is some dude on IG just telling you how to stop smoking. No, I hate those people. I shouldn't say I hate those people. I feel like it makes legit people that are using science and facts that can help people, it makes our job a lot harder. Bottom line is, yes, behavioral science, this is what it says. You've got to replace, you got to make it obvious, you got to make it easy, you got to make it rewarding and satisfying. You got to replace rather than stop. So good luck on that. And then the gratitude one, that's an easy one. Not an easy one, but mantra. Just come up with something in the morning. And if you want to start with just a gratitude list and not a mantra, but what I do is it's called habit stacking. When I go to take a shower every day, something I'm already doing, I already have the momentum built. I've been doing it my whole life. We all take a shower every day. When I'm in the shower, instead of just sitting there and thinking about all the bad things in the world and being all upset, I repeat my mantra to myself that I've kind of learned over. Now it's distracting me. Yeah, he's in full beast mode. So I use my mantra as something to remind myself of these are the most important things that I'm working on in my life and what's important to me. And then at the end of my mantra is when I put my 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. And I think it's good to try to change them up, because if you do the same things every day, what'll end up happening is they kind of start to go on auto. You're like, nah. But then it's like, and you stop kind of appreciating them as much. Whereas if you change it up, like today I'm grateful for today, and there's not gonna be a zillion things you're grateful for, so you can use the same ones, just kind of mix them up. But I think that's very helpful to get in the habit of doing that. And again, try habit stacking it with something you're already doing. Maybe you're doing it's not during your shower, maybe it's while you're drinking your coffee, or it's while you're looking at the birds in the morning, or taking your dog for a walk. But whatever that is, just use that opportunity and get in the habit. And once you're in the habit of doing that grateful list to yourself, it'll become automatic, and you'll just do it. And oh my God, is it a great way to start your day. I definitely recommend doing it in the morning, by the way, part of your morning routine. Because when you do it in the morning, you're like rocketing your momentum for the day, because you're starting off with, this is what I want to remember to do and what's important to me. This is what I'm grateful for, how much I have going for me. And it just really sends you to the stratosphere. So hopefully that helped, guys. I was supposed to use this session to test out the feature for my guest tomorrow, but I don't see that he came on. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This was fun. We nailed a few little habits, got a fun little talk in, and hope I was able to help you. Okay, bye.
That's it for the Gamify Your Habits podcast with Will Moore. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to visit moremomentum.com to learn how you can gamify your life.